Welcome to another edition of Young People's Report. I'm Jaquelyn Thomas.
And I'm McIntosh. Today we'll take a look at a Michigan festival that takes you back in time and visit a place that shows you the future of the automotive industry.
We'll also find out how candles are made and visit a place that takes the classroom outside. But first, Alyssa Bedford took a trip to Frankenmuth and went for a ride on a very special boat. She has our story.
Before the days of powerboats and luxury cruisers, people traveled the rivers in style on paddle boats. Although they've become extinct in the working world, you can still find a few of these boats touring the rivers. Here in Frankenmuth, visitors can go for a ride down the Cass River on an actual paddle boat, the Riverview Queen. Passengers will see some beautiful views, but more importantly, they can get a real feel for what travel on the river was like years ago.
It's a slower, more relaxing ride, and you can take in a lot of the scenery along the shoreline and the river banks.
Okay, so the ride is great. There's beautiful scenery, and it's a real nice trip. But this is YPR, and we always have to know, how does it work?
This particular paddle boat is powered by twin diesel engines. They're about 30 horsepower each, and there's one for each paddle wheel, as we have two paddle wheels on this riverboat. It's basically driven with hydraulic oil pressure. The engines power a hydraulic motor, which in turn turns the paddle wheels, and the paddle wheels are actually what makes this boat go down the river. This boat is a very slow boat with a top speed of about 5 to 7 miles per hour.
If you're going somewhere and have to go by boat, I would suggest taking a more modern one. But if you're looking for a fun and relaxing way to spend an afternoon, give the paddle boat a try. From the Riverview Queen in Frankenmuth, I'm Alyssa Bedford reporting for YPR.
Every day, tourists come here to Frankenmuth. Most come to window shop, but a lot come for the chicken. Shelby Johnson went behind the scenes at the Bavarian Inn to see how it all works. She filed this report.
Nestled in a small town of Frankenmuth, there's a restaurant where you can find people from all over the country. It may be a great place to eat, but what is it like to be a kid working behind the scenes?
I like working here a lot because a lot of people I know here, you know, and we always joke around, and they treat me just like they do everyone else. Normally I get most of the harder jobs.
This is Woody Keller. His grandfather opened the Bavarian Inn in 1959, and since then, it has been a family-run business.
My grandma, she kind of runs the kitchen. A lot of my older cousins work here, and they're normally waiters and waitresses.
Woody may be the youngest working family member, but he's also one of the busiest.
Normally I come in, I go to my grandma's office. She normally tells me what I'm supposed to do. I normally trim chicken, or sometimes I fill jelly jars for bread baskets and stuff like that.
With over 600 employees, this place can really get busy. We asked Woody to show us around, and our tour started with chicken processing.
This is the cooler where we store the chicken after it comes in. We get about 8,000 chicken delivered each week. We start by boiling them until they're cooked through. After that, we quick chill them and then cut them into 10 pieces with a saw. A machine is used to coat and bread them. The chicken goes back into the cooler, and just before it's served, it's deep fried to make it hot and crispy. Some pieces, usually dark meat, are set aside to be cut up for dressing and sandwich meat. This is one of my jobs here. I trim the meat off the chicken pieces for dressing. Grab a piece of chicken, and then you find where most of the meat is, and then you just kind of like cut into big chunks of meat, and then put it in there. Then once you're done with most of the meat, stick the bones in there. Then you do it again. Yeah. I normally like eating the legs because it's the only part of the chicken that I can eat with my hands, because I don't like cutting up the meat because it takes a lot longer. I like picking up stuff with my hands.
The end result of all this hard work is a delicious meal that over 1 million people each year enjoy. From the Bavarian Inn in Frankenmuth, I'm Shelby Johnson reporting for YPR.
We have to take a break, but when we come back, we'll visit a place that's looking to the future.
Don't go away.
automotive companies come out with new and improved auto designs. Now there's a place in Michigan that gives the consumers a look behind the scenes at that process. Luke Phillips took a tour and filed this report.
For most kids, cars are a spectator sport. But here at the Spirit of Ford in Dearborn, you can experience the art and science that goes into designing the cars of tomorrow.
Spirit of Ford is an interactive science and technology experience that shows folks that visit us what it's like behind the scenes, building, designing, testing, and manufacturing cars.
The Advanced Technology Lab explores many state-of-the-art technologies like ABS braking and voice activation.
Wipers clean windshield.
Wipers clean windshield.
The Advanced Technology Lab is a very exciting area in Spirit of Ford. This is where we have our hands-on interactive exhibits. These exhibits deal with the changing technology in Ford, safety, environment, and this is your opportunity to see how those things are affected.
What makes the sleekest and fastest cars? In this mock wind tunnel, you can put different shapes in a special fluid that shows how the air moves around them.
In the vehicle safety simulator, you'll find out what happens in an accident and the importance of seatbelts and airbags.
Okay, what you do is you take a seat here in the seats that we're in, you press the gas pedal and you can go 60 miles per hour, 30 miles per hour, and 10 miles per hour, and it'll show you what the airbag will do if you impact going those speeds.
Once you have a little background about the technology of cars, you can step into the design studio and watch how designers at Ford create a car that offers a little something for everyone.
There is a new generation of drivers out there, and they need a car that they can call their own. Enter the Mercury design team.
We are influenced by everything around us.
The Design Studio is a multimedia object theater. That means we use lasers and video and sound, and then we also have objects suspended all around the room and throughout the theater presentation, and it tells the story of the My Mercury design team. It tells how they've designed the My Mercury car to fit the lifestyles of all these different people and all the processes that go into designing the car.
At the Pit Stop Challenge, you can learn firsthand what it's like to be in a pit crew as you put Dale Jarrett's number 88 NASCAR through its paces.
Looks like the gas has gone in just fine. Those windows are nice and clean and ready for him to see. Our gas is all set there. And back behind the wall, checker flag.
Welcome to Turbo Tour. You are about to experience the most popular motion-based simulator in the world. Over 19,000 watts of sound coming at you from 6 separate channels of explosive digital playback. You are about to be thrust into a full-motion steel and slamming, robot rolling, track twisting adventure. The effects are cinematic. The thrills are real.
After all that work, you can come to the Turbo Tour Theater, where you are the car. You can see, hear, smell, and feel it yourself move along the assembly line. And watch as you're assembled, tested, and driven for the ride of your life. Or the art and science behind them, this place offers a little something for everyone. From the Spirit of Ford in Dearborn, I'm Luke Phillips, reporting for YPR.
Nowadays, when you need to shed some light on a situation, all you have to do is flip a switch. But in the past, you had to use one of these. YPR reporter Nicole Williams took a tour of a factory that is still practicing the art of candle making. She has our story.
Before Mr. Edison created the light bulb, people used these to find their way through the dark. Nowadays, all we have to do is flip a switch, but we still use candles for other reasons. Here at the Davisburg Candle Factory, they are busy making candles year-round in a variety of shapes, sizes, and colors. Each style takes a slightly different process, but they all start out the same.
The candle wax is hard. It's a slab. It comes in about 16 pounds, and then we put it into a vat that melts it down, and it turns to liquid, and then we can pour the liquid. The taper line is the line that's the whole length of the building downstairs, We put on 178 strings or wick, and then we turn the machine on and it just runs the whole length of the building and dips into one vat. And it's the same idea as if you handheld it. You dip it in and pull it out, and then it runs the whole length to cool, dips the whole length to cool again. And it can take anywhere from 2 hours to, about 3.5 hours. When they come off the taper line, they're all white. And most customers, when they come in, want color. This is our color tank. Now, what color do you like? Give me a color, any color. Purple. There's our purple. And we're gonna reach right over, and you gotta count to 5 when I say go. Ready? Go. Okay? Now, it's the coating on the outside, and on the inside is still white, but when it burns, the purple rolls into the white, and even if you look at it, you can't tell that it's white on the inside. Okay. These are the scents. The scent is what makes the candle smell. When we melt the wax, and it's all liquidy, then we take the scent, which is also liquidy, and we pour it in and stir it, and that's gonna get, now you said you like strawberry. Now don't stick your nose because it's really strong, just a little bit. You smell? That's your strawberry scent. We have fruits, the blueberries and the apples, and those are all scents, and they're all used in candles. What we're known mostly for is the special decorations, names on candles, wedding candles with flowers. We have, we can put violets and daffodils and forsythia. All of our parts are hand cut out individually, and then they're individually placed on the candle.
With all the colors and styles to choose from, it's no wonder candles are so popular. From the Davisburg Candle Factory, I'm Nicole Williams, reporting for YPR.
We have to take another break, but when we come back, we'll find out how a popular treat here in Frankenmuth is made.
Don't go away. Frankenmuth, you can enjoy a day of window shopping, but there's one window you don't want to miss. Lincoln Wirgau explains.
If you're like most kids, you might like candy. Okay, you probably do. And in Frankenmuth, there's a store full of sweet, sticky stuff. At the Frankenmuth Taffy Kitchen, fresh taffy is made throughout the week in 32 different flavors. For the taffy makers, this is more than just a job. It's an artistic skill.
When we make all the taffy, we make it in this copper kettle right here. We use copper because it cooks all the candy evenly. After it cooks for about 15 minutes and it gets up to about 245 degrees, we pour it out onto a table and it sits there and cools for about 10 minutes. As you can tell, it's not real soft. It's gonna be kind of hard. Right now, it's just like rock candy. It's really hard like that, and it doesn't have any flavoring in it. It just tastes like sugar. What we do now is we stick it in the microwave and we warm it up. Okay. Now after it gets all softened up, we put it up here on the puller. That puts the air into it, which makes it chewy. If we didn't do that, it would stay hard like hard candy. Now this is the tricky part. Kind of gotta get it on there and wrap it around before it falls off. And you turn it on. Once you turn it on, you just kind of push it to these bars like this until it starts going. And then once it starts going, it'll go all by itself. Now if you watch it, it's gonna turn from that clear color to white. Once it turns white, that means it's done. All the air's been into it. But that's when we're gonna add in the flavoring. And we're gonna make this one mint. Now we just scrape it down. We just try to get as much as we can off there. So when we do the next one, not a whole lot of the green will get into the next flavor. Now what I'm gonna do with it is I'm gonna take it over and set it on that marble table over there. It'll kind of all spread out like that. So you wanna poke that one. See how this one's a little bit firmer than this one? This one is orange. Now what we have to do is we have to get this big piece down so it's about this big around, and we have to feed it through that red machine there. Now this is called our kiss wrapper. The reason why is all those little pieces that you see, those are called kisses. So this cuts and wraps it into all those little pieces. The machine was built in 1932, so it's pretty old, and it will cut and wrap about 120 pieces a minute. So it's pretty fast. We can get a lot done.
They make about 8,640 pounds of taffy every month, and it takes about 45 minutes to complete each batch. That's a lot of work, but when you taste it, it's all worth it. From the Frankenmuth Taffy Kitchen, I'm Wirgau, reporting for YPR.
When you think of your science class, you probably think of a classroom and textbooks. But there's a local place that's taking science out of the classroom and into nature. Sam Howell has our story.
When you think of studying nature, you probably think of some long hours in a classroom. But here at Hartley Outdoor Education Center, the classroom moves to the outdoors.
We teach them about mammals and the importance of animals outdoors. We teach them about wetlands. That's a real big issue. We have a wetland lab downstairs. Some kids have never had the opportunity to work with microscopes, and they cannot believe that there's aquatic insects in the water. They just think it's water.
We followed some students from Sherwood Elementary in Saginaw as they studied fossils, Native American and pioneer heritage, and even got the chance to try their skills on the confidence course. Here at the confidence course, students learn how to work with each other as they struggled their way through the obstacle course. What do you think is the hardest thing to do at the obstacle course?
I would say the tire swing, because it's hard to get on the other tire swing when you're on the other one because you're swinging.
Swinging tires, because it's hard to get your foot into the tires to walk across.
They all said that the tire swing was the hardest, so I had to try it for myself. Boy, were they right. Here at the Shorter Log Cabin, these kids get a flavor for what life was like making apple cider, funnel cakes, and they also took turns cutting firewood.
Maybe sometimes it's the first time that they've ever been away from home, and they come here, and it's a residential program where they stay overnight. They take classes. It is a school. A lot of kids don't understand that, but it's a school. It's an outdoor environment.
Because of the fun activities the students get to do here, what they learn is not easily forgotten. What are you learning here today?
Old-fashioned really smells. And it's just not meant for us.
After 3 busy days at Hartley, the lessons these students have learned will be hard to forget. From Hartley Outdoor Education Center in St. Charles, I'm Sam Howell reporting for YPR.
We have to take another break, but when we come back, we'll visit 16th century England without ever leaving Michigan.
We'll be right back. There are many festivals that take place here in Michigan, but one really stands out from the rest. Nick Josey took a trip to Howell to experience history coming to life. He has our story.
Every year there's a magical place that appears in Michigan. All you need to do is walk through their gates and you'll be whisked all the way back to the 16th century.
Glorious God save the Queen, long may she reign with majesty glorious, ever victorious, God save the Queen.
This is the Michigan Renaissance Festival in Holly, also known as the magical town of Holly Grove.
I think people enjoy coming out here for the grandeur of it, to sit there and stand and spend time with the Queen of England for a period of time.
Here you can spend a day with the lords and ladies, and if you're lucky, you can even meet the king and queen.
And you will find that many of the villagers have a most peculiar sense of humor, as you see these knaves over here. But you find many sights because they are always trying to please the king and queen and bring a smile to their face.
In Holly Grove, everyone is part
Now,
of the
look,
act.
it's one thing for you to be mellow with me. This is my job, and I do it all the time. But Ryan may never be in this position again. Let's show some real enthusiasm. Say hello to Ryan! Hello, Ryan! Ryan, say hello to everyone!
And impromptu performances can break out anytime or place.
Throughout the day, there are magic stones.
Okay.
You ever seen a magic stone before?
No.
Now you have. All right. Do you know what a magic stone does?
No.
Okay, a magic stone has a tendency to just vanish and then reappear somewhere else on the festival grounds. There's hundreds of them all around. See? Because as soon as you think you have one, they're gone. And you have to go around and look for it again.
There are a lot of shows and performances. From puppets.
I'm Captain Hank and I'm just what you need. Way, hey, to blow your nose now.
To sword swallowers.
3, 2, 1.
There's a little something for everyone.
Well, everybody's favorite part of the festival, believe it or not, is Dead Bob. Everybody comes here, they come to see Dead Bob.
It's the Dead Bob Show!
What has your favorite experience been through the festival?
The Dead Bob Show.
And yours? Me too, Dead Bob.
And Heather, face the audience. Hey, audience! Hey, what? Please welcome to the stage, zombie number 1.
There are many games to test your skills. Kids can experience a duel with water or practice their jousting skill. But only the brave will try to conquer Jacob's ladder. One of the most popular attractions here is the joust. Just what is a joust?
A joust is where they ride on horses 2 knights and they charge each other and they try to unhorse each other. That's my favorite.
We've dropped in on the Royal Joust to see an actual battle on the field.
Rules of the joust, well, you're not allowed to hit the horse, ever. We encourage the point system used, and there are not jousting to blood or to injury. We try to break our lances upon the other man. If I were to break my lance, say, upon you, were I jousting you, I would earn myself 2 points. If I would strike you solidly, I would just earn 1.
Oh, it's a full contact joust. I carry 2 turkey legs, 1 on each hand.
And when it comes to food at the Renaissance Festival, there's nothing like gobbling down on a turkey drumstick.
That's good.
There is also a lot of artistic things to do here, from sand art to face painting. But the most fun is making a wax hand.
There's a few steps to them. The first one is ice cold water. We put them in there. That's usually more painful than the wax.
This is really cold.
Second one is the wax itself right here. We dip you 12 to 15 times in there. Afterwards, we cut the hand off, which is usually the most scary part for people.
After your hand is made, you can have it made into any color of the rainbow, including the NBC peacock. After all, this is a magical place. From the Renaissance Festival in Holly, I'm Nick Josey, reporting for YPR.
That's all the time we have this week.
Thanks for joining us and have a great weekend.
Oh, what's this, Dead Bob's Daycare Center up here? Yeah, send your brats up here for me to deal with. Thanks a lot.
Beaches! That was good. Shut.
Smile and wave!
Join the parade, they said. See the world, they said. I'd rather be sleeping.
You can see what the English court's all about.
Go forth and sin no more, or at least don't get caught.